Bayard Rustin, the civil rights hero they didn't teach us about. Welcome to Burden of History, where truth isn't just told, it's restored. Today we're honoring a man who helped shape the civil rights movement from behind the curtain. He was Black, he was gay, and he was brilliant. This is the story of Bayard Rustin, the architect of peaceful protests, the mind behind the March on Washington, and a hero many of us were never taught about. We need in every community a group of angelic troublemakers. Bayard Rustin. Bayard Rustin was born in 1912 in Westchester, Pennsylvania. Raised by his grandparents in a home grounded in Quaker values, Rustin learned early on that silence in the face of injustice was complicity. His grandmother, Julia Rustin, had been involved with the NAACP. She taught him to stand up for truth and to reject violence, even when violence was staring you in the face. He was Black, he was brilliant, and he was unapologetically himself at a time when that could cost you everything. By the 1940s, Bayard was already deep in the fight. He joined the Fellowship of Reconciliation, one of the oldest peace organizations in the country, and began organizing nonviolent protests across the U.S. In 1947, he co-organized the Journey of Reconciliation, the first freedom ride, challenging Jim Crow segregation on interstate buses. He was arrested and beaten for refusing to sit in the back of a bus in North Carolina. But he didn't stop. To him, nonviolence wasn't just a tactic, it was a moral obligation. He also refused to serve in World War II, calling it a war for empire, not justice. For that, he spent over 2 years in federal prison. While inside, he helped desegregate the prison cafeteria. Because Bayard wasn't about to sit there eating mashed potatoes while America got away with cruelty, at home or abroad. Again, he never sat quietly. Bayard Rustin's brilliance eventually caught the attention of another rising star, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In 1956, during the Montgomery bus boycott, Rustin came to advise King. It was Bayard who helped sharpen King's philosophy of nonviolent resistance, introducing him to the teachings of Gandhi and helping him turn principles into strategy. Bayard didn't just believe in peaceful protest, he knew how to organize it. He was a tactician, a teacher, a movement builder, but his identity put him at risk. In 1953, Bayard Rustin was arrested in California for having consensual relations with another man. He was charged with lewd vagrancy, labeled a sex offender, and sentenced to jail time. That arrest became a weapon, even among civil rights leaders. Senator Strom Thurmond read Bayard's arrest record into the congressional record to discredit the March on Washington. Some Black leaders demanded he be removed from leadership roles, fearing his presence would jeopardize the movement's credibility. And yet, it was Bayard who organized the March on Washington in 1963. Every bus, every permit, every volunteer, every speaker, that was him. He stood just feet from Dr. King as King gave the I Have a Dream speech. And still his name was barely mentioned. No statue, no textbook, no parade. Because being Black and brilliant was hard enough. Being Black, brilliant, and gay, that made you disposable. But Bayard Rustin kept going. In the 1970s and 80s, he shifted his focus to global human rights. He became a vocal critic of apartheid in South Africa. He pushed for Jewish emigration from the Soviet Union. He advocated for labor unions and housing reform. And he became an early unwavering voice in the fight for LGBTQ+ equality. He spoke openly and defiantly, long before it was safe to do so, but he didn't stop there. Bayard also turned his attention to Haitian refugees detained and deported in the U.S. He condemned the racist double standards in immigration policy and demanded humane treatment for people fleeing political violence. He stood with Haitians when others stayed silent, and he made it clear, no one should be punished for seeking safety. Bayard Rustin never stopped working. He believed in dignity without conditions, and he showed up for everyone, Black, gay, poor, immigrant, laborer, outcast. If you were pushed to the margins, Bayard met you there with strategy, with power, and with love. On August 24, 1987, Bayard Rustin passed away in New York City. He died from a perforated appendix that led to a serious infection called peritonitis. He was 75 and he was still organizing. In 2013, President Barack Obama posthumously awarded Bayard Rustin the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States. It was a long overdue recognition of a man whose hands helped build a movement he was barely allowed to stand in front of. Bayard Rustin taught us that being true to yourself isn't a weakness, it's a revolution. He didn't just believe in civil rights, he lived them. And even though textbooks tried to forget him, people haven't, because his work lives on. His words still challenge us, and his courage still leads. If stories like Bayard Rustin's matter to you, then make sure you're subscribed to Burden of History. Hit that button so you're notified when new videos drop. And don't forget to share this one. The truth deserves to be heard.